Melania Trump touted as family alpha after POTUS loses U.S. election 2020 to Joe Biden. Melania Trump has been suggested to have taken on a more assertive role in her relationship with Donald Trump after his election defeat, coming across as the alpha according to a body language expert. The First Lady and the President have been married since 2005, with Mr. Trump asserting dominance in the relationship. But Bruce Durham, body language expert and psychologist, has claimed their relationship dynamic has shifted in the wake of the president losing the election to Joe Biden. Speculation has blazed that Mrs. Trump could be eyeing a divorce from her husband in the wake of his defeat. Mr. Durham, speaking to Mirror.co.uk, has pointed out Mr. Trump's dominant role in the relationship with his wife. Referencing photos from before the election, he claimed that the president is always leading, his hand is always in the power position, and he has sometimes actually moved Melania out of the way to set the scene for him to be center stage. But in the wake of the election results, he said, after the votes were coming in and Donald spoke on stage, it was Melania who walked off first, and it was Melania who took her hand away from Donald. For 4 years we have seen Donald leading their actions via his body language control behaviors. The tides could be changing. The psychologist also said Mrs. Trump has shown before she can be the leader in the relationship, and suggests her dominating will be more common as time goes on. Mr. Durham added, Melania has given us glimpses of when she wants to, she can become the alpha one in the relationship. It will be very interesting to see how losing the presidency will impact the power play of body language between the two moving forward. Mr. Trump has refused to concede the election to Mr. Biden, despite losing with 232 Electoral College votes to the former vice president's 290. The First Lady's former aides have also claimed that Mrs. Trump is counting the minutes until divorce after the election. Stephanie Winston Wolkoff has claimed Mrs. Trump is negotiating a post-nuptial agreement to give their son Barron Trump an equal share of the Trump family fortune. She also alleged the couple slept in separate bedrooms whilst living in the White House, and were transactional marriage. Omarosa Manigault Newman also said, Melania is counting every minute until he is out of office and she can divorce. If Melania were to try to pull the ultimate humiliation and leave while he's in office, he would find a way to punish her. Jacqueline Newman, a managing partner at Berkman Bodger Newman & Rod, also claimed Mrs. Trump could rake in millions if she splits from the president. She said to Town & Country magazine, I would imagine the payout would be fairly generous. Mr. Trump has been married twice before, with Ivanka Trump divorcing from him in 1992 for a payout of $14 million and 2 properties. Maria Maples, the president's second wife, was divorced in 1999 and received a payout of $2 million. Despite the speculation, Mr. and Mrs. Trump have both maintained they have a loving relationship. Lino Carbogiero, the First Lady's hairstylist, said on ITV's Lorraine, I've seen her in her dressing gown and him doing his shirt buttons up, they have a cheekiness together. They are very loving as well. I've seen that, my assistant has as well. So it's not like I'm making it up. It's true, they really have this little bond, they giggle and they laugh and it's really sweet actually. Melania Trump is always taking the backseat when it comes to her marriage to President Donald Trump, but the First Lady can also become the alpha in their relationship, according to an expert. Body language expert and psychologist Bruce Durham spoke with a Mirror about the POTUS and FLOTUS marriage. He examined their recent photos and commented on the first couple's relationship. He pointed out that even if Trump is taking the main part when it comes to their public exposure, the president is allegedly not that confident. He also noticed changes in Melania's gestures after the election. Indeed, the partial smile on Donald's face and the slight squint in the eye offers an insight into a version of the president that isn't as confident as he seems, even if just for that moment, he said. Contrast this to more recent photos where Donald is always leading, his hand is always in the power position, and he has sometimes actually moved Melania out of the way to set the scene for him to be center stage. We see a much more controlling version of the president. However, after the votes came in and when Trump spoke on stage after the election, It was Melania who took her hand away from her husband and who walked off first. For 4 years we have seen Donald leading their actions via his body language control behaviors. The tides could be changing, he continued. Melania has given us glimpses of when she wants to, she can become the alpha one in the relationship. It will be very interesting to see how losing the presidency will impact the power play of body language between the two moving forward. In related news, Melania joined Donald Trump last week for the observance of Veterans Day. They visited the tomb of the unknown soldier at Arlington National Cemetery, but the FLOTUS walked behind her husband and was holding the arm of the soldier who walked beside her with an umbrella. Twitter users immediately reacted. Many were surprised because she was not fond of holding hands with her husband. However, some also said it wasn't a big deal because the other ladies at the event did the same.